For a moment waking up tomorrow and stepping into the life you've always dreamed of. Picture yourself being the person you've always wanted to be, confident, successful, full of joy, and abundance flowing effortlessly into your life. What if I told you that this transformation doesn't require any outside circumstances to change, but instead it begins with one simple shift inside of you? What if I told you that everything you've been waiting for, all the success, the love, the happiness, the wealth, is waiting for you to simply recognize one truth? You are already the person you want to become. This is not just a mere concept or a hopeful wish. It is the absolute truth that the world you experience is a reflection of the way you see yourself. The reality that you live in, the situations that unfold around you, and even the people you attract into your life are all a mirror of the image you hold of yourself. So if you find yourself surrounded by lack, doubt, or frustration, it's only because you've allowed yourself to be defined by those limiting beliefs. But what if, in just a moment, you could change how you see yourself? What if you could start seeing yourself not as you are now, but as the person you wish to become? The first step is simple, but it's the most powerful step you will ever take. Decide who you want to be. You must first understand that you are the creator of your life. The power to transform your reality begins the moment you choose to identify as the person who already possesses the qualities and experiences you desire. It's not about becoming someone else. It's about uncovering the best version of you that already exists inside. So the moment you decide to embody this new identity, you begin to rewrite your life story. But here's where many fall short. They wait for external circumstances to change first. They wait for a shift in their job, their relationships, their financial situation, or their health. They wait for the world to give them a sign, as if something outside of themselves must shift before they can become who they want to be. But this is where the truth lies. It's not about waiting for the world to change. It's about changing your image of yourself first. You see, the world responds to the energy you emit, not to your words, but to your deep inner beliefs about who you are. If you believe you are not good enough, not deserving of success, or not capable of achieving your goals, the world will mirror that belief back to you. But the moment you shift your perception and begin to see yourself as already the person you want to be, the world will begin to change to reflect that new self-image. Think about it for a moment. What would it feel like to already be the person you want to become? How would you walk? How would you speak? What would your posture be? What would your thoughts be like? You see, it's not about waiting for the evidence to appear before you make the shift. You must make the shift first, and then the evidence will appear. The transformation begins within, and then your outer world will naturally follow. The key to this transformation is to fully embody the feeling of being that new person right now. Feel the emotions, the confidence, the freedom, the joy, whatever it is you desire, and hold that feeling as your new truth. The more real that feeling becomes, the more the world will reflect it. It's a natural law, one that governs the entire universe. What you assume to be true about yourself is what becomes true in your life. So, when you start living as though your desires have already been fulfilled, you will begin to attract the circumstances and experiences that match that assumption. When we begin to explore the profound power that lies in the phrase, "I am," we must first understand the depth of its meaning. Most people casually say, "I am," without fully realizing the weight that these two words carry. The truth is, "I am" is not simply a statement of identity. It is a declaration of existence, a foundation upon which everything you experience in your life is built. Oh, these words are not just words. They are the foundation of your reality, the building blocks that shape every aspect of your world. What follows the words "I am" is incredibly significant. Whatever you declare with I am becomes a defining feature of your identity. It's not just a sentence you speak out loud. It is a command to your subconscious mind to mold your reality according to the image you hold within. I am is the gateway to everything you want to be, do, and experience in this life. The moment you say, I am successful, I am confident, I am worthy, you are not merely wishing or hoping for those things, you are becoming them. But how does this transformation happen? It all begins with understanding that your self-image is the key. You are not bound by the past or the limitations that may have been imposed upon you. Instead, your self-image is the filter through which you perceive and interpret the world. The moment you change how you see yourself, you begin to change how the world sees you. This is the critical shift. The world does not shape you, you shape the world by changing your image of yourself. Many people live their entire lives waiting for the external world to confirm their worth, success, or happiness. They believe that the circumstances of their lives dictate their reality. However, the reality is far different. It is not your circumstances that determine your life. It is the inner image of yourself that shapes everything around you. When you begin to see yourself as already successful, as already capable, as already the person you aspire to be, you begin to embody the energy and mindset of that person. The outer world then begins to shift, and you start attracting the opportunities, situations, and relationships that align with this new image. Take a moment to reflect on this. How many times have you found yourself waiting for approval from others, or waiting for something external to change before you could feel happy or successful? The key to breaking free from this cycle is recognizing that the only approval you need is your own. When you begin to affirm I am, you are giving yourself permission to be the person you want to be, regardless of what is happening around you. You are, in essence, affirming your right to live the life you desire and to be the person you were meant to be. The magic, or rather the natural law, lies in your ability to assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. When you declare, I am successful, don't just say it casually. Feel it with every fiber of your being. Imagine yourself already living the life of success. Feel the pride, the confidence, the freedom, and the power that comes with success. The more vivid and real you make that feeling, the more quickly your reality will begin to shift to match it. It's not enough to merely speak these words and expect immediate results. The key to unlocking this power lies in your persistence. You must continue to live in alignment with this new self-image, no matter what your current circumstances may say. Even when the evidence seems to contradict your beliefs, continue to affirm, I am. This persistence in living from the end result will eventually bring about the external changes you seek. So take a moment and think about what you want to be, what you want to experience, and who you want to become. Whatever follows, I am is your future. Start using I am consciously and watch how your reality begins to transform. The power of I am is the most potent tool you have, and when you begin to use it with intention, your world will change in ways you never thought possible. When we speak of living from the end, we are touching on one of the most profound principles that governs the way we shape our reality. Living from the end is the practice of adopting the mindset and emotional state of someone who has already achieved their desires, regardless of present circumstances. It is a way of thinking and feeling that transcends time, as it requires you to act, think, and feel as though you are already in possession of what you desire. Music. This is not about pretending or hoping that things will eventually change. Living from the end is the art of embodying your desired state right now. It means that instead of waiting for the physical world to change, in order to feel successful, happy, or abundant, you choose to feel those things first, as if they have already been realized. You don't wait for the evidence to appear. Many people make the mistake of waiting for something outside of themselves to validate their success, happiness, or fulfillment. They think once I have the job, the money, the relationship, then I will be happy. But this is backward thinking. The truth is that the feeling of happiness, fulfillment, and success must come first. The external world is merely a reflection of the inner state you choose to embody. If you wish to live a life of abundance, you must first assume the feeling of abundance, live in the feeling of it, and allow that feeling to saturate your mind and body. Only then will the world reflect back that abundance to you. The process of living from the end requires faith. Faith in the unseen, faith in the invisible. It requires you to trust that by embodying the feeling of your wish fulfilled, your desire will inevitably materialize in the physical world. The key here is to not let present circumstances dictate your state of being. So often, we look at our current situations and use them as evidence that we are not where we want to be. But the real secret is to disregard the current conditions and instead live as though everything you desire is already here. Imagine for a moment that you are already living the life you want. If you desire financial success, picture yourself already wealthy, already free. What does it feel like to be financially free? What kind of thoughts would you have? How would you speak? How would you carry yourself? Start embodying those traits, those thoughts, and those feelings today. Live as if your desire is already fulfilled, and in doing so, you will transform not only your internal state but also the reality that reflects it. It's easy to look at the world around you and feel disheartened when things don't seem to be going your way. But the key is to not allow what you see in the physical world to determine your emotional state. Your emotional state must come first. You must live from the end result, not from the current conditions. When you choose to live in the state of your fulfilled desire, your reality begins to conform to that state. The outer world must reflect the inner world you choose to create. The beauty of this process is that you are not bound by time or circumstance. You do not have to wait for the right moment. The moment you decide to embody the feeling of your wish fulfilled is the moment your world begins to shift. It's not a matter of waiting for things to align in the physical world. It's about you aligning your thoughts, feelings, and actions with the state of having already achieved your desires. As you continue to live from the end, you will notice that your reality begins to rearrange itself to match your new state of being. Things will start to fall into place effortlessly, not because you forced them to, but because you allowed them to. The world does not push you around, it responds to the state of being that you hold within. So begin today, live from the end, and watch how your world begins to reflect the changes you've made within yourself. The concept of persistence is one that holds tremendous power in the journey of creating the life you desire. It's easy to start something new with excitement and energy, but true transformation occurs when you continue to hold your vision steadfastly, regardless of what appears in your outer world. Persistence is the act of maintaining your focus and commitment to the new self-image you have assumed, even when circumstances seem to challenge that assumption. It is this unwavering persistence that brings about the inevitable manifestation of your desires. Many people fall into the trap of believing that if they do not see immediate results, their efforts have been in vain. They give up too soon, thinking that the law of attraction or their chosen method of transformation isn't working. But in truth, persistence is the key that bridges the gap between the unseen world of thought and feeling and the physical world of manifestation. It is in this persistence that you affirm again and again that you are already the person you wish to be, regardless of what your current circumstances show you. When you persist in your assumptions and beliefs, you are not merely hoping or wishing for change. You are living in the assumption of the wish fulfilled, seeing yourself as already in possession of what you desire. It's important to recognize that this process is not about waiting for external conditions to change in order for you to believe your desires are coming true. Rather, it is about living as though your desires are already a reality and continuing to do so even when the outer world does not immediately reflect this shift. The persistence that is required goes beyond just mental affirmation. It is a consistent alignment of your feelings, thoughts, and actions with the end result. Each time you affirm your new identity, each time you hold the vision of your fulfilled desire, you reinforce that belief within your subconscious mind. This is where the real transformation happens, in the subconscious, which is the creator of your external world. The subconscious mind is like fertile soil, and your persistent thoughts and feelings are the seeds you plant within it. Over time, these seeds will grow and eventually bear fruit in the form of tangible results in your life. However, it is important to understand that persistence doesn't mean forcing the results to happen. It means staying true to your inner vision, even when external evidence does not yet support it. The more you persist in living from the end, the more you become the person you are striving to be. The person who persists is not discouraged by delays or the apparent absence of immediate results. Instead, they continue to act, think, and feel in alignment with their goal. They trust the process, knowing that their persistence is sowing the seeds that will one day bloom into the physical manifestation of their desires. When you persist, you are also developing the strength to overcome doubt. Doubt is the natural enemy of transformation, and it often arises when external circumstances do not align with your inner vision. But the more you persist, the stronger your belief becomes. Doubt cannot exist in the presence of unwavering persistence. As you continue to live from the end, your confidence and belief in your own creative power will grow, and you will eventually see the physical world shift to mirror your inner world. Persistence is also a demonstration of your commitment to yourself and your dreams. It shows that you are serious about the vision you have chosen for your life. The longer you hold that vision, the more it becomes ingrained in your subconscious. In turn, the subconscious works relentlessly to make it a reality. Persistence is not a one-time effort. It is a continual commitment to the belief that you are already the person you wish to be, and that the world must conform to this belief. Ultimately, persistence is the practice of refusing to give up on the reality you have created in your mind. It is an inner knowing that your desires are already yours, and that the physical world is merely catching up to your new state of being. Keep your vision strong and continue to persist. The world will shift just as you have, and what you once dreamed of will become your living reality. The concept of assumption is at the core of understanding how to shape your reality. When you hear the word assumption, you might think of a simple belief or a conclusion you draw from available facts. But in this context, assumption is not just about casual thinking or belief. It is about living as if your desire is already a fact, as if it has already been fulfilled. It's about seeing your goal, your desire, your dream as an already completed reality. At the foundation of this principle is the idea that the mind does not distinguish between what is real and what is vividly imagined. To the mind, a strong, emotionally charged image of an event or experience is just as real as one that is actually happening. The mind is incredibly powerful in its ability to take what you assume as true and reflect it back into your external world. This is the key to assumption, the understanding that what you assume to be true becomes your reality. Let's explore this in more depth. The process of assumption starts with your thoughts, which then produce feelings. It's not enough to just think about your desires, you must feel them as though they have already come to pass. If you want to manifest wealth, you must not just think about the idea of being wealthy, You must feel the emotions that wealth would bring. If you want a loving relationship, don't just think about finding someone to love. Feel the love now as if you are already in that perfect relationship. This emotional engagement is what makes assumptions so powerful, because feelings are what impress the subconscious mind, and it's the subconscious that shapes your outer reality. What is critical to understand here is that the subconscious mind works by assumption. Whatever you assume to be true about yourself, your world, your abilities, and your possibilities becomes the lens through which you perceive and experience life. And more importantly, your subconscious will attract people, situations, and circumstances that match your assumptions. This is the reason why it is so important to consistently live in the assumption of your fulfilled desire, even before there is any evidence to support it in the outer world. The world reflects what you believe about yourself and the world around you. Take a moment to consider the way you assume things to be on a daily basis. If you assume that success is difficult to achieve, that abundance is rare, or that relationships are hard to come by, the world will reflect these assumptions back to you. You will find yourself struggling with obstacles, feeling lack, and finding it difficult to meet the right people. But this is not an inherent quality of the world. It is simply the result of the assumptions you have made and continue to hold. Your assumption shapes the nature of your experiences. But there's a critical aspect to assumption that must not be overlooked. The assumption must be accepted with conviction. You cannot casually say, I am successful or I am loved, without feeling the emotion and conviction behind it. The assumption must be felt deeply, as if it has already happened. Imagine the feeling of walking into a room filled with people who are congratulating you for the success you've achieved. Feel that joy, that pride, and that sense of accomplishment. Now, in this moment, picture your world reflecting back that same emotion. The stronger the feeling, the more real it becomes, and the more it impresses upon your subconscious mind. The assumption is not simply about thinking positive thoughts or repeating affirmations. It's about becoming that state of being. It's about embodying the feeling of your fulfilled desire with every part of you. You must be willing to live as if your desire has already been fulfilled, to act, speak, and feel as if it has already happened. This is the secret of assumption, living as though it is already done, and trusting the process completely. The key to success in assuming your desires is faith. The faith that your assumption is creating the reality you seek, even when you don't see the evidence yet. Faith is the unwavering belief that your inner state is more powerful than the outer world. It's the understanding that the external world must eventually conform to the internal world you create through assumption. Just as a seed grows into a plant over time, so too does your assumption take root and manifest in your life. It might take some time, but the law of assumption guarantees that what you assume to be true will eventually become your reality. The challenge is not to give up on the assumption when the world seems to be moving slowly or not reflecting your desire. There will be times when it seems as though nothing is changing. This is where many people falter. When they don't see immediate results, they begin to doubt the process. They wonder if it's really working, if their assumptions are correct. But this is the crucial moment. This is when faith and persistence are most important. You must continue to assume that your desire is already fulfilled. Continue to live in the feeling of its fulfillment, regardless of the outer evidence. As you persist, the world around you begins to shift in response to your assumption. This is the law in action. The assumption, held with unwavering belief and emotional engagement, will inevitably become your external reality. There is also a profound truth about assumption that must be understood. You are always assuming something, whether you are conscious of it or not. Every day, your assumptions shape your experiences. If you assume that life is hard, that people are untrustworthy, or that you will never succeed, you will find evidence to support those assumptions. However, if you begin to consciously choose your assumptions, if you begin to assume that everything you desire is already in place, you will begin to see a different reality unfold. The world around you is a mirror of the assumptions you hold. And the beauty of assumption is that you have the power to change your reality by changing the assumptions you make about yourself and your life. When you practice the art of assumption, you are not waiting for the world to tell you that your desires are possible. You are telling the world through your thoughts, feelings, and actions that your desires are already fulfilled. The world will respond accordingly. So take the time to decide what you wish to assume as true. Assume that your success is already yours, that your love life is already perfect, that your health is already vibrant, and that the abundance you seek is already on its way to you. Hold these assumptions with unwavering faith and watch as your life begins to reflect them in ways that may seem almost magical. But in reality, it is simply the result of the powerful law of assumption in action. The power of living in the feeling of the wish fulfilled is not simply a technique or a practice. It is the very essence of transforming your reality. Most people go through life expecting things to change externally before they feel any different. But the true key to creation lies in feeling the emotions associated with your desires as though they have already been realized. It is this emotional engagement, this living in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, that sets the stage for the manifestation of your dreams. When you think of something you desire, whether it's wealth, love, success, or health, what do you feel? Do you feel excited and grateful as if it's already a part of your life? Or do you feel a sense of lack or longing as if it is something distant, unattainable? The difference in those two emotional states is what determines the outcome of your desire. If you desire something and continue to feel that it is out of reach, that is exactly what you will experience. Your feelings, your emotional state, are the magnet that attracts the conditions of your life. It all begins with the understanding that your feelings are the key to unlocking the power of your subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is not influenced by logic, by external evidence, or by what the physical world presents to you. It is shaped by the vivid and emotionally charged impressions you give it. When you feel the joy, satisfaction, or peace that you would feel once your desire has been fulfilled, you are imprinting those feelings into your subconscious mind. These emotional impressions are what create the blueprint for the physical manifestation of your desires. The principle of living in the feeling of the wish fulfilled is grounded in the idea that the subconscious mind cannot distinguish between what is real and what is vividly imagined. If you can feel the emotions of success, love, or happiness now, even though the physical world may not yet show it, your subconscious mind accepts this as your reality. And because your subconscious mind creates your outer world, the more you consistently live in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, the sooner the physical world must shift to reflect that feeling. However, this is not a process of pretending or wishing. It is about embodying the feeling as if it has already come to pass. For example, if you desire a successful career, do not wait for the job offer to come in before you feel the pride and satisfaction that comes with success. Instead, feel those emotions now, as if the job is already yours. Walk through your day with the confidence and mindset of someone who has already achieved that success. Think, speak, and act as if you are already living in the state of your desire. When you do this, you are setting the stage for the physical manifestation of your desire. The power of feeling the wish fulfilled goes beyond simply thinking positive thoughts. It is about a deep emotional alignment with the end result. It is the embodiment of your desire on a level that transcends just intellectual understanding. It is about living in the end result so fully that it becomes part of your every thought and action. Imagine walking through your day as if everything you want, has already happened, and you will begin to see how quickly the world begins to shift to align with that feeling. Living in the feeling of the wish fulfilled requires faith, faith in the unseen, faith in the process. When you consistently feel the emotions associated with your desire, you are trusting that the outer world will eventually conform to your inner state. This trust is essential because it removes the resistance that often comes from doubt or impatience. Doubt slows down the manifestation process because it contradicts the very emotions that align you with your desire. When you doubt that your desires will come to fruition, you are planting seeds of disbelief in your subconscious mind, which then hinders the manifestation process. Therefore, faith in the feeling of the wish fulfilled is the key to removing resistance and allowing your desires to flow into your experience. One of the most powerful aspects of living in the feeling of the wish fulfilled is that it allows you to transcend time and space. In the material world, we often think of time as something that must pass before we can receive what we want. We assume that once we achieve our goals, then we will be happy, fulfilled, or successful. But in the world of creation, time is an illusion. The moment you embody the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you are operating outside of time. You are not waiting for your desire to manifest. You are already experiencing it. The moment you feel the joy, the excitement, or the fulfillment of your desire, you are experiencing the end result. And the outer world must eventually conform to match that inner experience. Think about the power of living in the end result for a moment. If you are someone who desires financial abundance, do not wait for the bank account balance to change before you feel abundant. Feel abundant right now. Imagine what it would be like to have all the money you desire. Feel the freedom, the security, and the joy that come with that abundance. When you feel these emotions now, you are shifting your energy and your state of being into alignment with wealth. Your subconscious mind, which governs your external reality, accepts this as truth. The outer world, over time, must reflect this internal shift, and abundance will begin to flow into your life in unexpected and surprising ways. The emotional power behind the feeling of the wish fulfilled also holds the key to overcoming the temporary appearance of lack. Often people give up on their desires because they do not see immediate results in the physical world. But this is where true mastery lies, in remaining aligned with the feeling of fulfillment, even when the world seems to contradict it. Just because you don't see the evidence of your desire in your current circumstances doesn't mean it's not on its way. It is during these times of seeming delay that your emotional engagement with the feeling of the wish fulfilled becomes even more critical. The stronger your ability to feel the emotions of success, abundance, love, or whatever you desire, the faster the outer world will conform to reflect those feelings. It's important to understand that the process of living in the feeling of the wish fulfilled is not a one-time event. It is a practice, a habit, a way of living. Every day you must choose to feel as if your desires are already realized. You must become the person who already has what they want, and you must live from that place of fulfillment. As you consistently live in this state, you will begin to notice how the world starts to change. People, circumstances, and events will begin to align with the energy of the emotions you are cultivating. Your desires are not far off. They are here now, waiting for you to accept them fully through your feelings. In conclusion, the power of living in the feeling of the wish fulfilled is one of the most profound and transformative principles available to you. By feeling your desires as already realized, you align your inner world with your outer world, and the universe must respond. The key is to remain steadfast in your emotional alignment, trusting that the world will catch up to the state you are living from. As you continue to live in the end result, you will find that your life begins to unfold in ways that are consistent with the feelings you have chosen to embody. The external world will no longer be a limitation, but a reflection of your inner state, and all that you desire will flow effortlessly into your experience. The art of mental discipline is one of the most powerful tools in creating the life you desire. The mind is an incredible force, capable of shaping reality, but it is also susceptible to the distractions and confusion that arise from external influences. It is essential, therefore, to master the ability to direct your thoughts, feelings, and attention toward your desired outcomes. Mental discipline, in this context, is the practice of focusing your mind and energy on a single, consistent vision or belief, regardless of the challenges, distractions, or temptations that may arise in your daily life. At the heart of mental discipline lies the understanding that thoughts are things. Thoughts are not just fleeting or inconsequential, they are the building blocks of reality. The mind is like a powerful engine, and the thoughts that you choose to entertain are the fuel that drives it. If you want to create a new life, if you want to see a shift in your circumstances, you must first control your thinking and direct it toward the outcome you desire. The ability to do this consistently is the essence of mental discipline. One of the most important aspects of mental discipline is the realization that your thoughts shape your experiences. Every thought you entertain sends a signal to your subconscious mind, which then directs your actions, attitudes, and responses. If you consistently think about lack, fear, or doubt, those are the things that will be reflected in your life. On the other hand, when you focus your thoughts on abundance, success, and joy, these are the qualities that will manifest. The power to create your reality begins with your ability to control your thoughts. The process of developing mental discipline begins with awareness. You must become acutely aware of your thoughts and recognize the patterns that may be limiting or counterproductive. For example, if you catch yourself thinking negatively about your financial situation or doubting your ability to achieve your goals, it is vital to recognize these thoughts and shift your focus. So the power of mental discipline comes not in the absence of negative thoughts, but in your ability to replace them with thoughts that align with the outcome you desire. Mental discipline requires you to choose your thoughts deliberately, instead of allowing your thoughts to wander aimlessly or allowing external circumstances to dictate how you think and feel. You must practice focusing on your desired end result. This is where the principle of living in the feeling of the wish fulfilled comes into play. If you want to achieve something, you must begin by thinking and feeling as though it is already yours. You must create a mental image of your goal and focus on it with clarity and intensity. This will impress upon your subconscious mind the belief that the desired outcome is already a reality. In order to maintain mental discipline, it is essential to create a mental environment that supports your desired outcome. This involves surrounding yourself with thoughts, beliefs, and influences that reinforce the vision you are striving to create. You must guard your mind as carefully as you would guard any valuable asset. Negative influences, whether from people, media, or your own internal dialogue, must be minimized or eliminated entirely. The more you expose your mind to thoughts that support your goals, the easier it will be to stay focused and maintain discipline. Another critical aspect of mental discipline is resisting the temptation to doubt. Doubt is one of the greatest obstacles to the manifestation of your desires. When you doubt, you are essentially rejecting the vision you have chosen to hold. Doubt sends conflicting messages to your subconscious mind, and this inconsistency slows down the process of manifestation. It is crucial, therefore, to practice mental discipline by silencing doubt the moment it arises. When doubt enters your mind, counteract it immediately by affirming your belief in the truth of your vision. Remind yourself that the only reality is the one you have chosen to create in your mind. Mental discipline also involves practicing patience. The law of creation is not a fast-paced, instant gratification process. It takes time for your thoughts to be impressed upon the subconscious mind and to manifest in the physical world. Patience is not about waiting passively for something to happen, but rather about trusting the process and staying mentally disciplined even when the outer world does not immediately reflect your inner vision. It's important to stay connected to the feeling of your desire fulfilled, even when you don't yet see evidence of it. Trust that the seeds you have planted in your mind are growing, even if they are not yet visible. One of the key components of mental discipline is consistency. It is not enough to focus on your desire for a short period of time and then return to old habits and thought patterns. Mental discipline requires you to practice focusing on your desired outcome consistently, day after day, regardless of the circumstances. The more consistently you focus on your vision, the more entrenched it becomes in your subconscious mind. It becomes an automatic response to think and feel in alignment with your desire. The more consistent you are in your mental discipline, the more powerful the results will be. It is also important to recognize that mental discipline involves accepting responsibility for your thoughts and beliefs. You cannot blame others or external circumstances for the state of your life. The way you think, feel, and respond to situations is entirely within your control. Mental discipline is about accepting that you are the creator of your own reality. Every time you choose to think or feel in alignment with your desire, you are taking responsibility for the creation of your life. This sense of responsibility empowers you to make choices that are aligned with your highest vision for yourself. Another powerful aspect of mental discipline is the ability to visualize. Visualization is one of the most effective tools for impressing your desires upon your subconscious mind. By vividly imagining your desired outcome, you are sending a strong message to your subconscious that this outcome is already a reality. The more real you can make the visualization feel, the more it will impress the subconscious mind. Visualization is not a passive process. It is an active exercise in creating the mental and emotional conditions for your desire to manifest. Mental discipline also involves overcoming distractions. In our fast-paced, information-overloaded world, it is easy to become distracted by external events, other people's opinions, and the noise of daily life. To master your thoughts, you must learn to tune out these distractions and stay focused on your vision. This requires setting aside time each day to focus solely on your desired outcome without interruption. Whether it is through meditation, visualization, or simply quiet contemplation, it is essential to create a mental space where you can connect with your desires and reinforce your belief in their fulfillment. Finally, it is essential to recognize that mental discipline is not about forcing things to happen. It is about aligning your thoughts, feelings, and actions with your desires and trusting the process. The more disciplined you become in your thinking, the more effortlessly your desires will manifest. The law of creation is a natural law. It does not require force or struggle. It requires only a steady, disciplined focus on the end result, combined with the unwavering belief that your desires are already yours. By mastering mental discipline, you unlock the power to create the life you want. Your thoughts are the building blocks of your reality, and through the practice of mental discipline, you can create a new world for yourself. The key is to stay focused, stay consistent, and remain faithful to the vision you are cultivating in your mind. Through this practice, you will begin to see the world around you transform as your inner vision becomes your outer reality. The power of belief is one of the most profound and influential forces in shaping the reality you experience. Belief is the lens through which you perceive the world, and it is the foundation upon which everything you create is built. The nature of belief is not simply about passive acceptance of ideas. It is an active force that drives your thoughts, emotions, and you believe in something, whether it's a positive or negative outcome, you are essentially programming your mind to align with that belief. This alignment sets the stage for the events, people, and circumstances in your life to mirror your beliefs. Beliefs are not just thoughts or opinions. They are deeply ingrained, subconscious convictions that shape your world. These beliefs are often formed early in life and are reinforced by experiences, societal conditioning, and personal interactions. However, what many fail to realize is that beliefs are not fixed or immutable. They are flexible, malleable, and can be changed at any time. The key to unlocking the power of belief is understanding that you have the ability to choose your beliefs and to align them with the outcomes you desire. One of the most important truths about belief is that your subconscious mind accepts whatever you impress upon it, whether it is true or false. The subconscious mind does not differentiate between what is factually real and what you consciously choose to believe. This is the reason why people can experience real physical changes based on mental belief alone. For example, if you believe that you are unhealthy, your body will manifest that belief through sickness or fatigue. Conversely, if you believe in your health and vitality, your body will align with that belief, and you will experience increased energy and wellness. The power of belief lies in the idea that belief is not just about thinking or wishing. It is about fully embracing the emotional and mental conviction that your desire is already true. When you truly believe in something, you internalize it, and it becomes part of your identity. This belief is no longer an abstract thought. It becomes a living, breathing part of who you are. The emotional charge associated with your belief is the key ingredient that gives it power. When you hold a belief with conviction, it resonates on a deeper level. And it is this resonance that influences the events of your life. The process of changing a belief is not necessarily an overnight task. It requires intentional effort, consistent focus, and the willingness to challenge existing thought patterns. It is often said that you cannot change a belief simply by wishing it away, and this is true. The process begins with the conscious recognition of the belief and its current impact on your life. Once you are aware of the belief, you must begin to challenge it with new, empowering thoughts and emotions that support the desired outcome. This new belief must be felt on a deep emotional level, as it is not enough to simply think a new belief into existence. The belief must be internalized, felt as real, and embraced as part of your identity. A powerful way to change a limiting belief is through the use of affirmation and visualization. Affirmations are positive statements that reflect the desired belief, while visualization allows you to mentally experience the reality you wish to create. Both of these tools work by reinforcing the belief in your subconscious mind. For instance, if you have a belief that you are not good enough to achieve a particular goal, you can counteract that belief by repeatedly affirming, "I am worthy of success and capable of achieving my goals." You can also visualize yourself already in the successful state, feeling the emotions of accomplishment and satisfaction. By consistently repeating these affirmations and engaging in vivid visualizations, you begin to rewrite the old limiting belief and replace it with a new, empowering one. Another essential aspect of belief is the understanding that you must fully embrace your desired outcome as if it is already a part of your life. This involves not only thinking the thoughts that align with your belief, but also feeling the emotions associated with the fulfillment of that belief. This feeling of already having is crucial because it convinces the subconscious mind that the belief is true, and in turn it manifests the corresponding circumstances. If you wish to be financially successful, you must feel the emotions of financial success now, before the money physically manifests. This is the shift that must occur. The feeling of your desire already realized. When you experience the emotions of your desired outcome as if it is already here, your subconscious mind cannot help but draw to you the people, circumstances, and events necessary to bring that belief to fruition. The power of belief extends beyond the individual realm and affects the collective experience as well. Beliefs are not isolated, they ripple out and influence the world around you. The beliefs you hold about yourself shape the relationships you have, the opportunities that come your way, and even how others perceive you. Similarly, the beliefs you hold about others can influence how they behave toward you. If you believe that people are generally kind and trustworthy, you are more likely to attract kind and trustworthy individuals into your life. On the other hand, if you harbor beliefs that people are untrustworthy or unfriendly, those are the types of people you are likely to encounter. One of the most powerful aspects of belief is that it is self-perpetuating. Once a belief is established, it reinforces itself through evidence. For example, if you hold the belief that you are successful, you will begin to see evidence of your success in every area of your life. This evidence will further reinforce your belief, creating a cycle of positive feedback. Conversely, if you hold the belief that you are unsuccessful, you will find evidence of failure everywhere, reinforcing that belief and keeping you trapped in a cycle of limitation. The secret to breaking free from limiting beliefs lies in choosing new beliefs that serve your highest good. These new beliefs must be consciously chosen and consistently reinforced. It is essential to recognize that you are the creator of your own beliefs and therefore you have the power to change them at any time. The belief that you are unworthy, unlucky. Changing a belief also involves silencing the doubts that arise when the new belief is challenged by the old, limiting one. Doubt is the natural enemy of belief because it creates a conflict within the mind. The key to overcoming doubt is to affirm the new belief with unwavering faith. When doubts arise, remind yourself that the only reality is the one you choose to believe in. The more you affirm the truth of your new belief, the more it will replace the old one. Beliefs are not limited by external circumstances. No matter what your current situation is, you have the power to change your beliefs and therefore change your reality. Whether it is your finances, your health, your relationships, or any other area of life, the beliefs you hold about those areas are the determining factors in your experience. The power of belief is a deeply transformative force. By consciously choosing and embracing beliefs that empower you, you shape the world around you. It is important to understand that beliefs are not fixed. They are fluid, adaptable, and can be reshaped at any moment. The more you align your beliefs with the life you wish to create, the more you will see those beliefs reflected in your external circumstances. The world is shaped by what you believe, and through the conscious cultivation of empowering beliefs, you can create the life you desire. Your beliefs are not merely thoughts. They are the foundations upon which your entire reality is built. The key is to choose them wisely, align them with your desires, and watch as the world around you begins to transform. The journey of shaping and transforming your reality begins with understanding the immense power that resides within your mind. The thoughts, beliefs, and emotions you nurture and hold on to shape every aspect of your life. By mastering the art of belief, mental discipline, and the power of the I am, you unlock the true potential to create the life you desire. The mind is a powerful tool that, when properly directed, can lead to extraordinary changes. As you have learned, beliefs are not static. They are malleable and can be consciously chosen, replaced, and strengthened through repetition and emotional conviction. Your subconscious mind is deeply influenced by the thoughts you hold, and through consistent focus, you can reshape your self-image and experiences. It is through this understanding that you realize your thoughts are not just idle reflections, they are the forces that mold your life. The power of belief is not just a concept to be admired, it is a tool to be wielded. When you align your thoughts and feelings with your desires, you are not only changing your internal world, but you are also setting the stage for the external world to mirror that transformation. It takes patience, discipline, and commitment, but the results are worth every effort. Ultimately, you are the creator of your own reality, and the world you experience is a direct reflection of the beliefs you hold. The process of change begins within, and once you master your thoughts, you unlock the door to infinite possibilities. With each step you take in reshaping your beliefs, you draw closer to the life you envision. Keep your focus clear, your mind disciplined, and your heart aligned with your highest desire. You have the power to create, and that power begins with your belief in yourself and the world you wish to manifest.